tell us the vehicles that we have, that the fire department has, and what their function is. So we kind of gives you an idea of where we stand in that, because he's got a couple, 2 or 3 things that he's wanting to address to the board, and that way you help it, at least you guys decide what we're trying to do.
I forgot to use your
Sorry. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order and get started. James, I kind of explained to the board a little bit about the list that you give us here. So I'll let you address the board, tell them, you know, what you actually have told me, and that way they can decide which direction or what we need to do as far as the vehicles are concerned.
So, main concern right now is we've got an engine that's down. I come to y'all a few months ago and asked about getting repairs, to both trucks. They come in, they work on engine 2, thought they had it fixed. They went in and replaced some of the stuff on the transfer case. It kind of worked for a little bit, but then it stopped again. They believe we've got some type of electrical issue. That's on the 2001 Freightliner, American France. So it will not go to pump gear right now and won't pump water. I asked them what it would cost to get that fixed. They basically told me that they weren't 100% sure due to the fact that it is American France. American France went out of business. They no longer make parts, they're obsolete, and they have to go and do research to try to find these parts if it's something needed. They seem to think it may be a wiring issue or some type of something to do with electric, because every once in a while it will kick in, but as soon as it kicks in and the pump actually engages, it kicks itself back out. And it's done for a while until it like resets something or something in there. I'm not sure what's going on with it. They looked at engine 1 to replace that pressure volume valve, and the kit that they brought down to rebuild it, they said it wasn't going to work, that the actual valve was bad. To replace that valve, they gave me an estimate for a brand new valve to replace it, and it was $5,206.45. That's to buy the valve, come down, put it on, and make that truck where it'll actually pass pump testing. Right now, it won't pass because it's stuck in pressure mode, and to do pump testing, it has to go to volume mode to be able to draft water. So it won't draft any water right now at all. The only thing we can use it is basically hook it to a fire hydrant and let the water flow through it and just pump the water. You can't draft any water from a drop tank or anything like that. What our issue is right now is we're down 1 truck, and in the event we go out of town to the district hall, then we can't draft water with the truck we have. We're gonna have to use a tanker to pump it, and that tanker's got to leave and go get water. Well, then you're waiting for that water to get back if you don't have another tanker coming at that point in time to swap out. So the main thing, I guess what I'm asking is, do we want to go forth and spend the $5,000 to fix engine 1 and get it where it'll draft? Do we want to call Banner, see if they come down and try to trace and find what the problem is with engine 2? Or do we want to look at other options? Being the trucks are 20 and 30 years old.
Well, let me ask, you know, before when you come to us and we authorize, I think, the repairs on these,
Right.
where do we stand there? Is this still part of this? Have we spent?
We spent 1,400, I believe, on the 1,400 when they come down working engine 2. They didn't charge us for engine 1. They tore it apart, looked at it, tried to put that rebuild kit in it. It didn't work. They took it back out, put it back together as it stood, and didn't charge us for that one.
But what exactly did they do then to engine 2 for the 14?
They replaced the transfer switch that goes from pump gear to roll gear that's on the transfer case itself. They replaced all that and rebuilt that, and
That's all still functional?
yeah, that's still functional. Our problem lies somewhere with an electrical problem, is what they believe.
Do you believe that these people you're talk about Banner is the only group of people that can possibly look at this electrical issue. I mean, I know they're probably experts and probably be the ones to go with it. But, I think they're probably also probably the most costly for us too.
Right.
You know, I didn't know if there was another option that we might look at that, because, you know, we don't know what that's gonna cost, and if we have to turn around and spend another $5,200 on a pressure valve for the engine one, you know, we don't know exactly where we're standing, what we're spending.
Right.
And I know we need these, or need something going here, and I understand that, but I'm just trying to kind of gather where we're at, how much we spent, and, right now, you're telling me though that we're only out $1,400 out of the money that we talked about before.
Yes. As far as people we're working on, Mike did some more research and try to see if there's any other companies out there that works on them. I don't know that taking it to like B&H or anything, that they would be able to trace or know anything about it. I mean, they might, but.
I can send you a name and a number. It's the guy that comes down and certifies. I was actually getting my tire fixed at Kenny Schaefer's shop down in Lilburn. He's the assistant chief for Lilburn Fire. And I was just telling him we had a meeting tonight and that our trucks are messed up. Anyways, he was telling me about the guy that comes down. He was a St. Louis firefighter, and he certifies trucks, works on trucks, and he said that's who Portageville, New Madrid, apparently they just have a day, and everybody brings their trucks over to Lilburn, and this guy comes down and he checks each truck, certifies each truck, and he was telling me that this guy's half the price of Banner for certification and different things. Ed something from up there. Anywho, he texted me his name and number, and so I could get it to you. So you could, you know, talk to him and see. Those guys use them, so he's got to be decent.
Right.
So you want to try that first?
Yeah,
Get a hold of him, how soon we can do this.
Yeah.
You might also talk to him about this pressure valve. I mean, I don't know if he can get a hold of something like that. You know, surely there's more than one individual besides Banner that sells valves like that. That's I don't know nothing about prices on parts like that, but sure sounds like an awful high price to me.
They're all special.
Well, and I understand the specialty that.
It's got fire written on it, it's gonna be
Yeah.
double the price of what you would buy something standard, so.
But, you know, if he can get you that number tonight, you can give him a call, maybe he can kind of give you an idea how soon he can get here, or if he can look at it, or if he can even help you. That's the big thing.
Right.
Our only other option is if this don't work out, then we don't want to be sitting there holding the bag for another month and then still be down. So we need to probably come up, I don't know if we want to go ahead and if he can't do this electrical issue, we can try to get someone else on it. You know, let's not stop there, but let's try to get that one. Because that seems like that's going to be the easy one, and we'll go ahead and keep checking on this pressure valve, see what we can find out on that. Sound all right with everybody? All right. James also told me that, I think we got an ambulance, I think about.
It's like a walk-in rescue truck, basically. It's a 96, I think we put on there, Ford F-350, full drive. It's got like 90-something thousand miles on it, I believe. It was a DNR truck that they used for hazmat, stuff like that. And Scott County Road bought it from them. They just recently got a larger rescue truck donated, so then they made arrangements and donated that to us. Wanted to replace the old white rescue truck we had. When I was telling you, had a little bit of mechanical problem and stuff, and missing out.
Which
Valve bad. It's the 2001 Ford F-150. So we wanted to take that off, take it out of service, and and replace it with the newer one, or the, well, they newer, it's older, but it's got less miles on it and runs better.
Is that the one that's a V10, but it's supposed to be, I mean, it's actually a V2 or something, the cylinders are messed up on it?
Yeah.
That one,
Yeah.
got two cylinders roughly.
So it's not even worth their city crew using it?
I mean, I guess they can
It'd
run it
be
till they run it.
like an in-town vehicle.
Yeah.
You couldn't take it anywhere.
Yeah. They wanted to, they would run it around town and run it till they run it ground. And
Yeah,
I'm surprised the truck hadn't blew up already.
yeah.
That'd be one we'd either probably need to put it up for sale, or can we sell it?
Yeah, it was donated to us from Cummins Mid-South.
That Rescue 2 was donated to us by Cummins.
The old rescue, well, I got on there's the 2001 model. Ford
I see
F-150.
it, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, that was donated to us back in 2000, probably, I don't know, like 2008, I can't think. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a 2000 model pickup, but they donated it, actually just the chassis, and then we bought the bed from Farrell's to put on there and got it painted and everything, so
You guys gonna take the bed off and,
it's welded on.
oh, yeah.
That was the only way we can make it, you know, where it's stable.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, you're gonna wind up with a rescue truck, no, 2 rescue trucks, a brush truck and a tanker. That's besides the fire trucks.
Yeah, the 96 Ford F-350 rescue truck, the ambulance, which I got labeled rescue 2, the brush truck, and then the, like I said, the tanker, fire district ones that.
So actually, we're still at the same
Still the
number,
same
we
thing.
just added
Just
that
take-
one,
We're swapping, taking them out and that.
Take one out of service.
so we added the first ambulance.
Right.
And you're swapping one out, so we're still just
Still
up
the same.
one.
I don't know exactly what we can or can't do with this other truck, but we can flip it over to the city side. If there's something there we can use, we'll try it. If it's won't be too costly for us, but we'll just put it on the market or do whatever we have to. But, let's find out what we can do. So, anything else?
No, that was it. Just update on the new rescue truck and then see what the plans was to try to get our trucks fixed.
But you can get him.
I got it, yeah, he sent it to me just a little bit ago.
And, basically, we had this and did have one other item that come up, I guess, today, and that's pertaining to inspections. What we've been doing is we've been having myself, Jackie, and Bo doing inspections for the city. I think all of you have seen the inspection sheets. You know, we don't get real elaborate to it. Basically, it's health and safety precautions that we take on our inspection. Anyhow, I had a person that said that they felt that some of us didn't need to be doing that because we've never been appointed by the city, which is probably correct. We have just done this, you know, for employees and myself. I was doing it before, and we had an individual say something to me about it, so I went to school. I went to a training in St. Louis specifically for that, and I do have a certification for it. But on that, I don't know, I guess I've never thought about that these individuals need to be appointed, so if we're going to continue that, so we won't run into this again, I think that we need to make those appointments. Need to make a motion. I'd do all three of them, that way, because if somebody's not in town, somebody else can do it, and that way it can get done.
I'll make a motion to appoint, you, Mayor Pete Layhawk, Chief Jackie Hayes, and Bo Hoskins Is that what you said? As official inspectors of the city. Is that what they need to be?
Yeah. We have a motion on the floor now.
I second.
All in favor?
I'll have to do nay on that one.
All right. The only other thing that I do have is, most of you, board meeting night, and our water sewer superintendent is not working now. We did check with MML, checked around. We do not have to pay him for this time that he's gone. He's salaried, but we don't have to pay him. Jackie's been taking care of the plant, so we paid him for, I think, $12 an hour. And normally what he's been doing is working like 1 hour a day, you know, to keep the plant up to date on the plant. Our man's been gone since the 20th of January, and supposedly he'll be back next morning, this coming Monday. So hopefully, but unless the board has a problem with that, go ahead and just pay Jackie that. Right now, we're saving $500-something a week from that. Jackie probably won't cost us $200 if that much.
And try to find somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Do we have any figures for that yet for Jackie's time?
Don't know how many hours he's got, probably.
Hour days since January 20th, how many
Yes.
of her days that is?
Probably, 10, let's say 14, 15, so it'll be about 25 days. That's what I'm guessing, $4 an hour. It's 1 hour a day. It's gonna cost us about 1 week of what you call salary.
28 hours if you put it through Monday or Sunday. If Jeff comes back Monday.
Yeah, he's supposed to come back Monday, but we haven't heard nothing from him.
You want to wait on that?
Well, I mean, we don't have to do that now. I just figure eventually when that comes about, it'll be another month before we meet again. So I thought, well, if nobody has any problem with just paying him for the $12 an hour for the hours that he works, just go that way.
I think it's cheap overtime.
Yeah, it is. Get a motion on that then?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That's all that I have. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Make sure you get up here and get this number right now.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to see if I had, and I don't think I did.
Hey, before everybody runs off, I talked to Pete about this earlier, and he didn't have a problem with it. With all the rain and the weather we've been having, this tree over here, even when I went to Sykeston, we caught the bus of this tree over to the high school. Well, if you notice, they got tarps wrapped around it. If I can get with Lowe's to donate the material, maybe a little time and get some of the firemen to help. Does the city have a problem, the rest of the board, if we built like a little shack with like an open window fronts?
Yeah, I think it's an awesome idea.
Because there's like,
Yeah.
there's like 15 kids that catch the bus right there.
And I was telling Pete, I bought some, it's not plexiglass, it's supposed to be even stronger than plexiglass. I don't know if it was like, he called it poly something. And I mean, he's got it an inch thick, however big you want it, and it's behind the old Dairy Queen that used to be out there by Raven. Yeah, that's where I bought mine, and they had to go cut a small piece, they got big pieces. I mean,
What I'd like to do is build like a half wall, and then I was talking about doing like he was talking, and the other half of the wall being a solid sheet of plexiglass across the front, so you can still keep an eye on it.
Mhm.
And then on the back, have just a walk-through opening, no door, no nothing.
Just something getting out of the rain.
Yeah.
Basically.
And keep the wind off.
Keep them out of weather.
Yeah, it's crazy standing out there like that.
Don't you think you need to check on your liability for
Do what?
it? Your liability for doing that? Just to make sure.
I mean, we can check with the insurance company.
What's your
but-
number, James?
I said 3 minutes, 3-2-3-2-5.
It's just something, try to help the kids out, keep them from.
Well, I understand that. but Throw something up there as you're, you know, you're doing it for a specific purpose. Would there be a liability to it if something happened there?
There's liability to everything.
I think
There's liability to this guy
Yeah.
getting tripped and walking
I
out.
understand that. That's not what I'm talking about. You're talking about kids that you're going to school, and you're building that.
Well, it'd be built
We
to,
could build it like a pavilion, like it's a park, and it'd be open to anybody.
And he wasn't
Yeah, you
trying to
do.
sell us on that, we were just talking.
Just something to look
And,
at.
Yeah.
you stuff.
Has anybody reached out to Sykeston schools and asked them if they would be,
I've mentioned it once before, but
never heard anything back?
Sykeston Schools is not going to do anything to help city parks.
And Lowe's does this, I mean, we
Yes.
talked to him before about donating some stuff down in New Madrid and,
Well, Lowe's has a team too that they'll send down sometimes
yeah.
and just
Build it.
build it.
Yeah, that would
And
be
if they
awesome.
don't, we'll do everything. Be good publicity on their part.
Right.
Yeah, he was a professional firefighter up there in St. Louis, a good mechanic, and I said, well, yeah, I need that number. And he might be like, no, that's not me, I don't do that stuff, but, and he may even know somebody that knows about those electrical systems on those LaFrance, right?
Yeah.
He may know somebody, you know how it is, you know.
Engine 2, and I thought I didn't have it all the way in here. Took off walking on me down Highway 60 one afternoon.
Yeah, it did.
That's because it jumped in 5th gear instead of 4th gear override. That's a problem right now, is when you put it in, you go from road gear to pump gear, and if you push drive, it's supposed to go into 4th gear override, which basically takes the transmission out and allows the
ATO.
PTO to kick in and just run the front front drive shaft and not the rear. Well, it sometimes does that, and then sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes it goes into 5th, and that's the thing is, or it'll go into 4th, and when you push it, when it lights up that it's good, and then it kicks out, and the light will go off, and then
Yeah.
it's back into regular drive.
Well, that day you could actually hear it pumping. And I got out to grab a hose and charge it, and the car just started.
Yeah. So, but they seem to think it's an electrical issue. They thought it was the shaft on the transfer case was not making contact based, and they rebuilt all that, and it didn't fix it like they thought it would, so.
So that truck is one that we need to start looking for a grant or something for.
Right. Because
Replacement. That's gonna be obsolete.
Everything is obsolete, they're getting that way because they don't make it, I don't know how long American Franks has been out of business, but they shut down a while back. A little bit. So,
Our last fire truck, we got to go USDA.
The 93 we got through USDA, the 2001 we got through FEMA to the AFG grant, but the problem is the AFG grant, you can't buy used fire trucks anymore. You have to purchase a brand new truck with AFG. They changed the standard and stuff.
Sucks.
I was talking to a guy the other day just to kind of see what they would do. He told me that normally they don't buy trucks if it's over 15 years old. And he said, with that being American friends, he said, why would you be interested? So I'm like, well, here was that idea, so. But
Matthews just gave away a fire truck.
there's American friends also.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it about the same year? I mean, we
No.
could use it for a parts truck.
No, what was it? 77?
Oh, Lord. Get paid more money than I